Life is a journey full of unexpected twists. Some people face unimaginable hardships, yet they rise above their struggles to achieve success beyond anyone's expectations. This is the unbelievable true story of Vikram, a man who went from begging on the streets to becoming a millionaire. His journey is filled with pain, hope, determination, and most importantly, the refusal to give up. If you think success is only for the privileged, think again. Vikram's story will change the way you see life. Vikram was born in a small village in Uttar Pradesh, India. His parents, Ramesh and Sita, were poor laborers who worked in the fields. They earned barely enough to survive. Despite their struggles, they wanted Vikram to get an education. His mother used to say, "Beta, if you study well, you won't have to suffer like us." Vikram was a bright child. He loved learning and often topped his class. But dreams don't always come true easily. One day, tragedy struck. A severe drought hit their village, and there was no work left for his parents. The family had no money, no food, and no way to survive. His father, desperate to provide for the family, left for the city to find work. But he never returned. A few months later, his mother also fell ill due to malnutrition. With no money for treatment, she passed away, leaving 12-year-old Vikram all alone in the world. No relatives were willing to take care of him. He was orphaned, homeless, and starving. His only choice? Leave the village and search for a better life. With no plan and no money, Vikram climbed onto a train heading to Mumbai, a city known for its wealth and opportunities. But the reality was far different. The moment he arrived, he realized that Mumbai was not welcoming to the poor. The city was filled with people like him, homeless, hungry, and struggling. The footpaths were lined with beggars, children selling flowers, and laborers sleeping under bridges. At first, Vikram thought he could find a job, but no one was willing to hire a 12-year-old uneducated boy. Days passed, and he had no food. He was so hungry that he searched garbage bins for leftovers. Finally, desperation took over. He sat near a temple, held out his hands, and began begging. He had hit rock bottom. For the next few years, he survived by begging and doing small tasks, washing dishes at tea stalls, running errands, and sleeping on railway platforms. But deep inside, he knew one thing. This was not how his life was meant to be. He had to find a way out. One evening, as Vikram was begging outside a busy market, a well-dressed old man stopped and looked at him carefully. Instead of giving him money, the man asked, "Why are you begging? Can't you work?" Vikram replied, "I want to, but no one gives me a job." The man smiled and took out Rs 500 from his pocket. "I will give you this money, but I'll come back in a week. Show me what you did with it." For the first time, someone believed in him. Vikram had two choices. 1. Spend the Rs 500 on food and continue begging. 2. Use it to start something new. He chose the second option. The first step, from Rs 500 to Rs 5,000. Instead of spending the entire Rs 500 on food, Vikram used Rs 200 for meals and saved the rest. He noticed that vegetable vendors needed help transporting their goods from the wholesale market. He took a risk and used Rs 300 to rent a handcart. For the next 7 days, he worked tirelessly, carrying vegetables from the market to vendors. By the end of the week, he had earned Rs 2,000. When the old man returned, Vikram proudly showed him his earnings. Impressed, the man introduced himself as Mr. Mehta, a businessman who owned a logistics company. He said, "I see potential in you. If you're willing to work hard, I can help you." Vikram knew this was his chance. He grabbed it with both hands. Mr. Mehta gave Vikram a small job at his logistics company. Vikram worked 16 hours a day, carrying goods, loading trucks, and running deliveries. But he wasn't just working, he was learning. He observed how businesses operated, how customers were handled, and how money was managed. For 5 years, he worked harder than anyone else. He saved every rupee, never wasted money, and planned his future carefully. By the time he was 21, he had saved enough to buy his own second-hand delivery van. Instead of working for others, he started his own transport business. At first, things were tough. He had only one van and worked alone, but he was determined. Slowly, he built contacts and started getting contracts from small businesses. Within 5 years, he expanded his business and owned 10 trucks. By the time he was 30, He had diversified into real estate, stocks, and multiple businesses. Vikram was no longer the boy who begged on the streets. He was now a millionaire. One day, he visited the same market where he once begged. He found Mr. Mehta, now much older. With tears in his eyes, Vikram fell at his feet and said, "You changed."
Would you believe a beggar could become a millionaire? Vikram's journey proves that anything is possible if you refuse to give up. What do you think about Vikram's journey? Share your thoughts in the comments below.